It's week 4 in the books, and I am all alone. Yep. Hey, welcome to That Kingdom Come, we're a podcast where we talk all things Chiefs and NFL. It's week 4 in the books, and I am all alone. Yep. And if you haven't noticed, there's nobody to my right. Your left, Dionte is on vacation. And subsequently, Josiah is also on vacation, so I'm talking to myself. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if I like it, being in my own head. It's scary sometimes. But that's all right. We're going to talk football anyways. Hoping those guys are enjoying their vacations while I work for the week. Next week, Josiah will be back. Dionte won't be back until after week 6 because he's on an extended vacation. So yeah, we'll do the normal stuff today. I'll be kind of, instead of Dionte doing like the weekly roundup or whatever, I'll be doing more of the weekly roundup. We'll be going through the game and just talking about kind of the key plays and stuff going on there. So let's just get into it. We're going to go over injuries from week 4. Anthony Richardson has a hip pointer / oblique. He's projected a week 5 return, so should be back this week. Kind of crazy. He went back into the game after he got initially hurt. Why would you do that? Christian Watson for Green Bay has a high ankle sprain. It's looking like he's going to miss 3 weeks. Be back week 8 is the projection. We're going to come back to that one. Malik Neighbors with the Giants last Thursday had a concussion. He went for a ball down the sideline, almost caught it, didn't brace himself, smacked his face on the ground, dealing with a concussion. They're thinking he'll be back week 6, so missing a week. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. He's been fantastic this year. I really hope that he comes out of it. Jonathan Taylor, high ankle sprain, and he's projected to return week 7. Taylor has dealt with some injuries, man. I hope he gets back. Hopefully he's feeling good because people need him on fantasy, okay? Taysom Hill, New Orleans, he has a rib injury, not expected back till week 7. Justin Herbert with the Chargers, he played with a high ankle sprain injury this past week. He's been playing with it for a couple of weeks now. Didn't look terrible, but didn't look great either. So they're projecting he's going to sit this week. You could tell it was their Super Bowl because they had him play. Travis Etienne Jr. went out with a shoulder injury. They are saying he's going to be back this week. We shall see. And then the last big injury I've got is Will Levis for Tennessee, who likely sprained his AC joint. They're projecting he's going to miss a week, and it's a week 6 return. It does look like it's on his throwing shoulder, so we'll see how that kind of looks going forward. Will Levis has been very underwhelming, so I think it's kind of a win-win for the Titans. So, yeah. And then we're going to get to the biggest injury of all. Rashee Rice with a knee injury. Everybody has been suspecting that it's a torn ACL, but now Rashee Rice is getting a second opinion on it, which kind of sounds like maybe it's not a torn ACL. Maybe there is no tear, because if he's getting a second opinion on it, it probably means that one wasn't confirmed, or they're just going through the options of trying to figure out the best way to deal with it and recover from it. So we'll keep an eye on Rashee Rice. If it is an ACL sprain, it's looking like it's a season injury. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but It is what it is, man. It was a crazy play, which we'll get into here in just a minute. So now we're just going to kind of jump into a recap of the game. Chiefs traveled to L.A. to face the Chargers for the first time this year. A lot of injuries on the Chargers side. They were missing both tackles. Joey Bosa was out, as well as what is his name? Dionte? Do you remember his name? Yeah, I don't remember either. Derwin James was out with a suspension for one game for repeatedly um, violating the personal conduct, like player safety stuff, helmet to helmet tackles, stuff like that. I do think that kind of sucks because a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Chiefs got bailed out because Derwin James wasn't there. I don't see how that's the case, considering even when they're healthy, Chiefs have now won 11 in a row against the Chargers. 11 in a row. That's insane. So yeah, I don't think it would have mattered whether the tackles were there or not. Our defense played a huge role in this game, and we're just going to kind of talk about it. So first drive, Chiefs get the ball first. Chargers win the coin toss and elect to defer to the second half. So Chiefs get the ball. Super, super dope. First play, Carson Steele run for 0 yards. Next play, just a short pass to Noah Gray. And then probably the play that everybody's been waiting for the year was a 38-yard pass to Travis Kelce, who ran down the sideline, probably got like an additional, I think it was like 20 yards after the catch. Absolutely fantastic play. And then the very next play, Carson Steele runs for 3 yards and fumbles the ball, which has been an issue for him this year. Not really excited to hear and see that. I actually wasn't able to make the very beginning of the game. I saw a clip of the pass to Travis Kelce. I just bit my lip. I've been biting my lip all week, and it's extremely frustrating. I don't have anybody to make fun of me for that. It's kind of awkward. I'm looking to this side of the room over here, and it's like empty. There's no one or nothing. I'm not sad. You're sad. If you can't tell, I'm a little stuffy too, a little bit under the weather, but we're doing this anyways. So Carson still fumbles. It's been a thing with him. I'd say it's been a thing. It's his second fumble of the year. He is a rookie. He's got to know to hold on to the ball. It kind of stinks, but the benefit we have is that Kareem Hunt came back, which we'll talk about Kareem Hunt here in a minute. So yeah, after the fumble by Carson Steele, Chargers get the ball at their own 26-yard line, and for the third time this year, we give up a touchdown on the first drive of the game for the other team. And for the fourth time this year, which if you can count right, that's every game we have allowed points on the opening drive for the opposing team. So that kind of stinks. However, it does seem like after the initial drive, our defense just kind of locks down, right? They figure out the game plan for the other team. It's almost like they're waiting to see what the other team's going to do. Spags kind of holds back a little bit, and then as soon as they figure out kind of like the game plan of how they're going to attack us, we counter that attack, which has been honestly lights out. I think if you take away the opening drive, I think teams are averaging less than. Oh, what did they say? It's like around like 10 or 11 points a game after the opening drive, which is kind of crazy to think about, considering that, I mean, 3 different teams have scored touchdowns on opening drives in 4 weeks on us. So yeah, we're defensively looking very well, right? I don't really have any worries about our defense. Again, for another week, FAU was looking good. Chris Jones had 2 sacks on the game. He was looking great. He had 3 quarterback hits. You had a really good rush by Turk Wharton that forced Justin Herbert out of the pocket to get a sack. I mean, the defense played really well. Really, really well. you go to so after Chargers score their touchdown, we go to our next drive, which is the drive that everybody thinks Patrick Mahomes made his absolute worst play of his career. The whole play itself, from very beginning to end, was absolute chaos, and it's got to be one of the worst plays that a player could have had. So Patrick Mahomes drops back. He throws a ball, what looks like to be going to, I can't remember if it was Rashee Rice or Justyn Watson or Juju. He threw a ball, and he overthrew the receiver by about 5 yards. It was intercepted, and on the return, Rashee Rice comes back. He actually swats the ball out of the defender's hands, and as that happens, Patrick Mahomes is kind of throwing his back low to kind of trip up the defensive back that made the interception. But as he does that, Rashee Rice plants his right foot in the ground, and Patrick Mahomes rolls into Rashee Rice's knee. They're going two very opposite directions with two very opposite momentums, and Rashee Rice, with his foot planted, his knee bends back and out, and he left with an injury to his knee for the game. It looks like, instantly I thought it was going to be an ACL or an MCL tear, but unfortunately we don't know that right now. It's still up in the air. It's not looking like we'll know until the day of the Saints game on Monday. So, yeah, that was that was just a misfortunate play. And Rice couldn't put any weight on his leg for the next several minutes. He got carted off the field, and as he was getting carted off, he just kind of laid back on the cart, threw a towel over his face, and you could tell he was upset, frustrated, and they went back, did an x-ray, and dictated from the x-ray, Rashee Rice was ruled out, especially with him not being able to put weight on it and whatnot. So, yeah, that was a little bit, I say a little bit of a bummer. That was a huge bummer, man. That was a very unfortunate play. And yeah, man, it's just one of those things that you can't really predict, and you don't really know what to do, and so you're just kind of there, you just kind of let it happen. So, yeah, man, there's nothing you can do about it now. We're just going to keep pressing on, and that's kind of what the Chiefs did for the rest of the game. So we, I say the rest of the game, really not until like towards the end of the first or second quarter. So Chargers score a field goal on that drive. The next drive for the Chiefs, 3-and-out. We punt, and honestly, Matt Ariza's 53-yard punt down to the LA 19, fantastic. Then Chargers essentially 3-and-out because they did have a penalty. So, but it's essentially a 3-and-out on the Chargers. So defense stepped up there. They were put in a bad spot on the previous drive where the ball was turned over and returned almost, into their territory down to, what was it? I think it was the 25 of the Chiefs. Nope, it was the 20 of the Chiefs. So back into the red zone. So they held on the previous drive. They held the Chargers to a field goal and then push them to 3-and-out on the next drive. And then after that, the Chiefs get the ball back. They 3-and-out. Excuse me. After that, Chargers get the ball back. They 3-and-out. So it's just a crazy, chaotic, just play all the way around. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And this is all, for the most part, in the first quarter. The Chiefs 3-and-out. Second Chiefs 3-and-out. Wound up going. No, wait, hold on. So how many 3-and-outs we got in a row? So Chiefs had the interception, then Chargers 3-and-out, Chiefs 3-and-out, Chargers 3-and-out, Chiefs 3-and-out, and that's like Chiefs 3-and-out happened like right as the second quarter started. Then the Chargers 3-and-out. Oh, my goodness. Then the Chiefs, 9 plays. Finally not a 3-and-out, but they only gained 15 yards. And we punted again. Matt Ariza had an absolute day. So let's look at Matt Ariza's stats. So you go down to Matt Ariza. He had 4 punts with a long of 53. Let's see if it gives us his average punt for last week. So last week versus the Chargers, his average was 50 yards, man. He had an average of 50 yards in the air. That's kind of crazy. And there was one that he kicked. It like hit at the 5-yard line, went straight up into the air, bounced again, and then rolled towards the goal line. I don't know how he did it, but our guys were sitting at the goal line waiting. The ball was at the 1. We really realistically should have been able to hold the Chargers there. But, yeah, so you've got on the Chiefs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the Chiefs' 6th drive, after 3 consecutive 3-and-outs by the Chiefs after an interception and the fumble, and then 4 subsequent 3-and-outs by the Chargers. 3 3-and-outs by the Chargers. The Chiefs' next drive, on the very first play, on a bad punt by the kicker for the Chargers, McCole Hardman, the ball bounces like around the Chargers 45 and starts rolling into Chiefs territory. McCole Hardman does the smart thing and grabs it. He goes down immediately at the Chiefs 45, which I think is a very smart play, because if he doesn't pick that up, that ball is rolling at least another 10 yards into Chiefs territory. And if that happens, I don't think we have the next play, which the very first play of the drive, Patrick Mahomes drops out, and Rashee Rice just running up the seam on a go. While he's running, Travis Kelce runs across the middle and pulls the free safety in what should be double coverage on Xavier Worthy. I think I said Rashee Rice. I meant Xavier Worthy. Okay, so Xavier Worthy runs it just up the seam, down the sideline, coming back towards the post. Travis Kelce on the right side of the line runs a quick 10 and then across and pulls the safety from the back like 4 steps up, I think. It's like he took like two or three initial steps like to his right and then ran 4 yards towards Travis Kelce. And then by that time, Patrick Mahomes was releasing the ball, traveled 62 yards in the air, which is kind of crazy because that was the most air yards that Patrick Mahomes has completed the pass with. And it goes for a 54-yard touchdown. So Xavier Worthy finally got what he was going for. Xavier. I think it's Xavier. I don't know, man. Worthy. We're just going to call him Worthy. And, man, is he worthy enough to be on this team. He made a great move. Travis Kelce pulled the safety down. It was a touchdown. And he was absolutely hyped after it. And I was too, man. It was the longest touchdown. It was the first 50-yard touchdown or 50-plus yard touchdown since I think it was December 11th of 2022. So it's been almost 2 full years since Patrick Mahomes has thrown a 50-yard touchdown. And that, to me, is just absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So we score on that drive. It's fantastic. We kick off and we force the Chargers into another 3-and-out. So to end the first half, the Chargers had 4 3-and-outs. Essentially, they had 5 3-and-outs because on the field goal that they got in our territory, they only had 4 plays. One of those plays being I believe it was a penalty. Let's see. Let's see. I think it was a penalty. I can't see. I don't remember. Yep, there was a penalty. So essentially another 3 and out. And it was just it showed the defense showed that when our offense is not rolling, the defense can step up. We can make plays. We were getting into the backfield. We took advantage of their weak offensive line, and we really didn't look back until, really for the rest of the game. There was a drive where the Chargers could have scored in the second half, but they didn't. So to end the first half, the Chiefs get the ball. We get the ball down to the 47-yard line of the Chargers with 4 seconds left, and we send out the butt kicker, Harrison Butker, and the kick is no good. He leaves it probably about a yard or two short. You could tell when he kicked it, he didn't get all of it. Now, it's not quite an open stadium at SoFi, but there is places for like air to blow through. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, Butker, did his best with what he was given on the hold to put the ball as far as he could, and he just couldn't put enough on it. We know he's got the leg. We've seen him hit from 70 in warm-ups. I think that day he had hit from like 65 plus in warm-ups. So, it's just a little unfortunate, but that went to the half. So it would have been 10-10 with that, but with that missed field goal, it was 7 Chiefs, 10 Chargers at the halftime. Coming out of halftime, we know we're without Rice coming back, and defense knows they need to step up. And defense, we're just going to keep it a little short, but defense keeps a 0 on the board for the second half. Fantastic to them. Chargers come out with the ball in the second half, and they wind up missing a field goal. So the field goal he was taking was from his own, or from the Chiefs 45. It was a 55-yard field goal, which, Dicker has the leg for, but he just pushed it, as Bill fans hate to hear, wide right. Ball went wide right, and Chiefs took over at their own 45-yard line. And then after that, we go down. Kareem Hunt, who's an absolute stud, got some carries. He was getting, yards after yards after yards. And I think he averaged, let's look. So Kareem Hunt averaged, he took 14 carries for 69 yards, which was an average of almost 5 yards a carry. So, that's just absolutely crazy. The guy comes in cold, hasn't played for a while, didn't have a preseason. He says he's going to be the back of old, and he comes in and just absolutely makes everyone look silly. We score a field goal on that first drive we get in the second half. And then after that, we give the ball back to the Chargers. And on the Chargers' second drive, they have 14 plays, and they turn the ball over on downs. So they get all the way down to the excuse me. They get all the way down to the Kansas City 3-yard line, and it's 4th and 1. They had a 3rd and 5. They got down a little ball, which is going to be controversial. Who was it? Quentin Johnson, I believe it was. It was either Quentin Johnson or who's Joshua Palmer. I'm not sure which one. I can't think off the top of my head. Actually, it says it right here. It was it was to Joshua Palmer, and it looked live like he was touched down at the 3-yard line, and he after replay from seeing a couple angles, you couldn't really tell. It looks like he wasn't touched, and the Chargers, instead of electing to challenge the spot, which would have allowed them to dictate whether he was touched down by contact or not, because you can't challenge if he was down by contact, but you can challenge the spot. Instead of doing that, the Chargers called a timeout and then just went for it on 4th and 1 from the Kansas City 3-yard line. They did not get it, which means Chiefs take over at the 3-yard line. Very first play, Kareem Hunt runs for 6 yards. Next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 7 yards. The next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 5 yards. So we were feeding Kareem Hunt, and he was absolutely hype after every run. Kind of had that Isaiah Pacheco, how he pops back up and it's just like, yeah, like that was Kareem Hunt all day. We wound up punting on that drive, though. The next drive for the Chargers is the 3-and-out, and then that's the one where we pin them all the way back on their nope, that's not the one. That's when they're on their 15-yard line. But still, like another punt by Ariza down to the inside the 20-yard line of the Chargers. So the next drive, we have 5 plays for 68 yards. I'm sorry, 5 plays for 60 yards, and that went for a touchdown as well. So we started at our own 40. Kareem Hunt ran for it was a pass to Noah Gray for 29 yards, which was fantastic. Then the next play, Kareem Hunt runs for 9 yards. Play after that, Kareem Hunt runs for another 5 yards. Absolutely hype after that. Then Mahomes passes short for 9 yards to Kareem Hunt again. And then Mahomes finally hands the ball off to P. Ryan after a penalty on the defense. It was defensive holding, and they put the ball at the Charger 3, or they put the ball at the Charger 2 and allowed for, we gave the ball to P. Ryan, and he scored a touchdown. So the rest of the game, it was 5 plays for Chargers, and then they punted, and then the Chiefs held the ball for the rest of the game. So, I mean, let's just go over the stats really quick. Team stats, we got Patrick Mahomes over here. Didn't really have the best of games, but he had 245 yards. Other than that one turnover, he was able to take care of the ball. 245 yards on 19 of 29 for a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 3 times for 17 yards. I'm sorry. Then we had rushing Kareem Hunt, 14 for 69. Samaje Perine got the ball 5 times for 14 yards. Patrick Mahomes had 5 rushes for 12 yards, which is kind of funny because he had his long was 13 yards. So his total after 5 rushes was less than his longest run. And that's just because of the sacks count against a quarterback as a rush, so which is kind of crazy. Then Carson Steele only touched the ball twice for 3 yards. He touched the ball the first time, got nothing. The next time, he fumbled the ball. So he did not touch it after that, I don't believe. So Travis Kelce, finally a breakout game for Travis Kelce. He had 7 catches on 9 targets for 89 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but man, he looked good. He showed that he can still get open. He showed that he can still run routes, and that anybody doubting him, well, guess what? He can turn it on whenever he wants to. He doesn't need to hold back. It really shows that he's kind of been opening up the field for other teams, for other players, like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, which on that Worthy touchdown pass he did open up the field. So good on him. Xavier Worthy had 3 catches for 73 yards, including that 54-yard touchdown on 4 targets. Noah Gray had 4 catches for 40 yards on 4 targets, so he caught all the balls thrown his way. Justyn Watson, 2 for 27. Kareem Hunt for 2 for 16. And then Carson Steele had 1 catch for no yards. Then on the defense, Drew Tranquil led our team with 10 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. And then you had the head of Sack Nation, and that is Chris Jones. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits. Man, did he look good. He looked absolutely fantastic. So I'm really stoked to see him doing well. No, George Karlaftis did not get a half a sack on one of his tackles because he didn't get the sack. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's fine. That's fine. It's whatever. And then Turk Wharton had a few really good rushes. Didn't get any tackles, but man, he affected the backfield for the Chargers quite a bit, making Herbert move out of the pocket and allowing other players on the defense to make plays. So good on him. And then Felix Anudike-Uzomah looked really good as well on a few rushes going to the quarterback. We were without Mike Dana, which we felt a little bit, but then, honestly, after the first couple of drives, it was just kind of locked down from the defense. And then, Trent McDuffie, he had 1 tackle for a loss that was an absolute bull rush to keep J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. That was fantastic. He had 6 total tackles, 3 solo tackles. And then Leo Chenal also had a tackle for a loss in the backfield where he just kind of ran down the line and met the running back in the backfield. So our defense is what's going to carry us for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. And, man, am I glad to see that. It's another year where our offense isn't looking great. And realistically, after talking with Dionte earlier this week, our offense kind of looks like the offense of the 2022 championship team. We've got Juju, we've got Sky Moore, we've got Justyn Watson, we have McCole Hardman. Instead of MVS, we have Xavier Worthy, who's our deep threat. And instead of Kadarius Toney, we're going to bring up probably Nico Remigio or Montrell Williams or who would be the other one? Justin Ross. We're going to bring up one of those guys most likely. And to be honest, I think it's an improvement on both of those. No offense to MVS, but Worthy has a tendency, I feel like, to catch the balls thrown his way. And we'll see. I mean, it's yet to be seen with Nico Remigio or Justin Ross or whoever we call up. So, Kareem Hunt looked great. And, our offensive line looked really good. Wanye Morris played a great game. Jawan Taylor, many penalties. Man, it might be time to see if Kingsley's good at right tackle. He had that one bad game against Trey Hendrickson. But I really think that given the opportunity, Kingsley Suamataia would have a much better go-around. Anyways, so that's last week. That's week 4 of the NFL in the wraps. Chiefs are one of 2 4-0 teams left with Minnesota. That being said, we're going to take a drink. That being said, we're going on to our picks for the week. I'll probably see if I can at least get Dionte's picks so I can throw it into the edit. So you'll at least see his face pop up somewhere on the screen next to the team he picks. Yeah, so we'll see if we can't get that before the edit for this video goes live. So going to Thursday night, we've got Tampa Bay at Atlanta, both coming off big wins last week. Atlanta beating New Orleans and Tampa Bay beating Philly, both at home. Atlanta's at home for this game. This is the third home game in a row for Atlanta, and they're favored by 1.5. Man, I'm having a tough one with this. I think I'm gonna have to go Atlanta at home. They've been playing very well this year. Baker's been playing well too. This to me is a toss-up, but I'm feeling Atlanta. I'm feeling Atlanta on this one. So yeah, and you'll see. Hopefully Dionte gets back with me on these picks, and we can throw that up there. If you see his face, sweet. If not, sorry. I'll have a graphic of it up on Sunday showing all of our picks for Sunday, and then Monday showing our picks for Monday. On to Sunday. You got New York Jets at Minnesota Vikings. I kind of got to go with the Minnesota Vikings, the undefeated at home. New York Jets lost to the Broncos last week, and that was kind of embarrassing. You had a moment where Aaron Rodgers had the reaction of where he understood he was a quarterback for the New York Jets, and it didn't look good. So he just got to laid his head back, sunk down in the bench, and threw a towel over his face. It was absolutely crazy. Oh, man, it was crazy. So, yeah, I've got Minnesota at minus. They're going to beat them by more than 3 points, so they're beating the spread. Next, we've got Carolina at Chicago. Carolina is 1-3 at Chicago, who is, I believe, they're 2-2. Yeah, Chicago is 2-2. So, oh man, I think I'm gonna go with. I think I gotta go with Chicago. I mean, they beat the Rams at home. The Rams aren't looking good, but beat the Rams at home, showed a little spark on offense. Let's go with the Chicago Bears at home. I think it's by less than the 3.5 they're giving those. So I think it's going to be a field goal against Carolina. We'll see if Andy Dalton and the Panthers can come back from a loss last week against the Bengals. Next game, division rivalry, Baltimore Ravens at 2-2 against the Cincinnati Bengals, 1-3. Baltimore's favored by 2.5. I'm going to take Baltimore. Derrick Henry in the last 2 weeks has put 349 yards on the ground. He had 150 yards against Dallas. He had 199 yards last week against Buffalo. So I've got Baltimore winning by at least a touchdown in this one. Next game, Miami at New England. Miami looks horrible. Tyreek Hill is unhappy. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it out. They don't have a quarterback that can get their guys the ball. They're one-dimensional right now. They're only a running team. They have two of the highest-paid receivers in the NFL in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but they can't get them the ball with the quarterbacks they have. They need to go out and find somebody to give them the ball. So I've got New England, and probably, New England hasn't been great either, but I've got them winning by a field goal in New England. Next game, Cleveland at Washington. I've got the 3-1 Washington Commanders winning by at least a touchdown. Jaden Daniels, man, that guy has looked really good over the last few weeks. Their offense is scoring. They put up 42 points last week. 42 points. It's hard to get 25 points in the NFL. They put up 42. The offense is rolling. Defense is decent. I got to give it to the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels on the win at home, putting them to 4-1, keeping them second in the conference. Then we've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars coming off a huge win, which I did not see coming. And I've got to go with the team that's hot, the Indianapolis Colts and Joe Flacco. As long as Anthony Richardson doesn't play. I mean, realistically, I feel like the Indianapolis Colts looked pretty good with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is Magic Joe is what I'm calling him. He came in last year for the Browns, took him to the playoffs, put Flacco in, and let him cook. Let the man cook. So we've got Colts at Jacksonville. I've got the Colts. They're going to win by 3 points. Next, 3-1 Buffalo at the Houston Texans, who are 3-1 as well. I'm going to be honest. I really don't know who to pick. Houston has not looked great over the past few weeks. Past couple weeks. They haven't looked great. I think that Houston will win this game against the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen kind of didn't look great last week. So I'm going to go with Houston. I think they're going to come out on all cylinders. And I think it'll be a one-score game to finish, or at the finish of this game. Next, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Both teams 2-2. And, man, I don't know. Denver's defense looked pretty good last week. I think I got to give it to Denver at home. Give them the slight advantage at home over the Raiders. Probably going to be around a field goal. They're favored by 3 at the time of recording. It's probably going to change by the time of editing. So I'm going to give it to Denver by a field goal. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the 49ers. I think the 49ers are one of the most disappointing teams of the season. They are 2-2. They did win last week at against New England in San Francisco, but it's New England. I don't know, man. I really I want to say give it to the Cardinals, but my heart is saying to give it to San Francisco. So we're picking San Francisco. I'm going to say San Francisco by a touchdown. Let's make it good. Next, we've got Green Bay at 2-2 versus the LA Rams at 1-3. The second most disappointing team in NFL for me. Well, not the second. Maybe the second most disappointing in the NFC because I don't count the Cowboys. So I'm going to go with Green Bay at LA. I think Green Bay will absolutely turn it on and absolutely the second half of the game against the Vikings, they look fantastic. So I'm going to give it to Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers by probably a touchdown or just under a touchdown. We'll call it more than a field goal, less than a touchdown. Next, we got the New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to go with Seahawks by a lot. Yeah, Malik Neighbors out with a concussion. Seahawks by a lot. You name a large number, and that's what they're going for. That's what we got. Seattle by a lot. A lot. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Steelers. They're 3-1. Justin Fields, I don't know how, but he's playing well, and the Cowboys look like trash. The Cowboys look terrible. Oh my gosh! If I could see the faces of all my Cowboys fans, or all my friends who are Cowboys fans. Oh man, I would love to, because Cowboys look so bad. And I mean, hey, I will gladly be the most hated team in the NFL with the Chiefs, especially when the Cowboys look like that. That's crazy. So that's it for Sunday. And then we have one Monday night game, and that is New Orleans in Kansas City. Monday Night Football. New Orleans with Derek Carr, who's very familiar with the Chiefs, sitting at 2-2. They've lost 2 in a row. Lost to Philly and lost at Atlanta. Honestly, I thought the Saints were going to be at least 3-1 coming into this week. They're not. And so with that, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. Chiefs are favored by 4.5. Man, I don't get the spreads with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win by more than a field goal, less than a touchdown. But I got the Chiefs in this game. I think we're going to have a good offensive showing. Now, Saints have a great defense, man. I know, because there's like 4 former Chiefs players on that defense. So Saints have a good defense. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be a defensive battle for sure. I think the Chiefs win by more than a field goal, less than a touchdown though. So yeah, that's what we got. Detroit, Tennessee, Philly, and Los Angeles are on a bye, so they cannot gain in their division. They can only go back. I guess they could gain if other teams lose. Yeah, who knows? But I have faith in the Chiefs to absolutely wreck the New Orleans Saints. And I say absolutely wreck. That means we win by more than a field goal, because apparently that's difficult for us to do. So yeah, we've got that going on. Look, man, I know I've been without Josiah and Dionte. Hopefully this was good and entertaining to watch. I've been talking to myself for 45 minutes at least. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you're liking, you're commenting, you subscribe so you get notified every time we do something. Hit the bell. Yeah, man, when you comment, we comment back. It'll be me or Josiah most of the time. Dionte doesn't really do comments. He's not really a social media guy. He's got an Instagram, but he doesn't really do anything with it. So, yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Give us your predictions of the games on Sunday, Thursday, and Monday. Let us know how much you hate the Chiefs. I relish it. I love it. We're in our villain arc, and I'm here for it. So, that being said, I ain't got nothing else. So, I guess until next time, guys, thy kingdom come.